This little fireball was dropped off. The customer said there was a mouse-related fire, and he wants the blade sharpened. Let's take it in and see what the damage is.
Okay, I've had this machine dropped off a few days ago. Customer said had a mouse fire under the hood and just sharpened the blades. So I'm gonna just look at this first. So I'll lower this table. Okay, so quick look at the engine. It is a Kohler Courage. Not a great engine to begin with. We'll need a fan. Possibly a coil wire. It's burnt right through at the end. Probably replace this wiring harness. There's a couple. Might be fine for getting a test ran. Air filter housing. The whole engine cover must have been what was on fire. So I'm probably going to get this cleaned up under the pressure washer first to see what kind of damage there is. He's lucky. The gas tank's right here. I don't know how that he managed not to. And the hood's not burnt. Okay. So this isn't, maybe this isn't as bad as it looks. We're going to find out. First, I'm going to give this tractor a good look over, check the drive belts and all that, because just you don't want to get into a big repair on the engine side and then you miss something on the deck or the drive. So let's give it a quick look. Okay, I'm just going to test the battery first with my battery tester. So 12.29 volts, that's good. Battery test, I always say out of vehicle with these, it's a regular type. Cold cranking amps is 300. Let's run this up to 300. Actually, it says replace, but we'll see how it goes. We'll throw a charge on it later, and then we'll let them know. All right, so this is an auto drive machine, forward, neutral, reverse, MTD. So first thing I'm going to do is just check the belts. There's two. There's an upper here, hard to see, and then there's a lower. From what I can see, both don't look too bad. A little bit of cracking on this smaller one at the rear, but I'll probably let the customer know about that rear drive belt with the cracking in it, whether he wants it replaced or not. I can't really get in there to show you, but we'll let him know. On the mower deck, the deck belt looks decent. Idler pulleys are fine. I don't see anything too major with any issues. There's some of that fire extinguisher stuff on the pulley. It looks like it's kind of corrosive. I don't know. Underside, the blades, I'll probably tell him if we get this far, they just need to be replaced. The edges are all worn down. No, I don't know if you can see that, but that blade's due for replacement. Okay. Right, so before I go any further, I'm going to get this hood off, and I'm going to take this thing down to the pressure washer and give it a good clean up, and then see what I can see, and hopefully get a quote done for this guy. I can edit all this. So we'll grab Gonna start taking some parts off of this. Burnt air filter housing can come off. That's no good. I got plastic burned right down onto the cylinder head cooling fins, and that's going to be a problem. I wonder what started the fire. My thoughts, either there was some mouse nest, and the other problem is these Kohlers leaking oil out the valve cover onto the muffler. I wonder if that could have started the fire also. So mainly I kind of want to hear if this will start and run. Probably gonna I have some of these around. I'm gonna change that first because I don't want something flying off of there. And I do have some used coils, so I'm gonna throw one on and see if I can't hear this thing actually run first. Okay, I just got that fan replaced. I had a used one out back. I'm just removing this coil. I just kind of get few basic things changed here so I can hear this thing run first. So we'll get this melted plastic cover pieces out of here. They're kind of in my way. They're not stuck they're not that stuck to the cooling fins. So I'm sure that's real healthy stuff. It's coming off pretty easily. It's not really stuck there. Anyway, I got enough of that off for now. Coil wire, it's burnt right through at the bottom, so that's no good. I also had a previously enjoyed ignition coil out back. I like keeping my used parts around. You never know when you're going to need them. And the customer will save a bit also, which is kind of a plus. If I have used parts, I will use them. I don't use used mower blades or used spindles or nothing like that. Engine parts are usually pretty safe for used. There. Coil gap tool on. Let that rest against the magnet. There. One important thing, you always tighten down this side of the coil first. It pushes the coil against the tool as you're turning. If you tighten down this side first, it'll actually, if you don't notice, it'll pull the coil off your gauge ever so slightly. That was just my worn out bit slipping off. Worn out socket, sorry. Worn out socket. Right. Remember to get rid of that. Right, my coil's on. Just gonna throw that on. All right, the rest of my wiring harness. I can see some bare wire for that green. And what's that go to? I think it's oil pressure. We don't need that actually. But if that grounds out, that will kill the coil, kill your spark. So, well, I'll still have to fix that. But the harness, it didn't get caught on fire, so that's good. Carburetor actually looks okay. And it's not leaking fuel, so the seat in there is still good. We still got fuel in the tank, and it's not. So I think it's safe to maybe just give this thing a start. Now, the carburetor's loose though, so actually it's not quite yet. I've got just a couple spacers here I'm going to throw on because I don't have an air filter housing just yet. I'd have to go dig for that. This is just to hold the carburetor against the block, just so I can hear it run. All right, oil check. We're good. A little over full, but it's a pressure lube engine, so it's okay. Not, you don't want to overfill them, but I'm not going to worry about it right this second. I think I've got all my basics covered here. So I'm going to hook the battery up and give this a start. All right, battery install. And always tighten the nut side up. Okay. I'm just going to get ready to start this engine up. Coil's on. My flywheel fan is torqued back down because it's held on with the flywheel bolt. Carburetor's there. Well, let's give her a start here. So it starts, it sounds okay. It won't keep running without choke, so sounds like it runs fine. It'll need a bit of carb work, but that was probably unrelated. So I just have to quote this thing out now and see if the customer wants it fixed. All right, I ended up having all the parts out back to put this motor back together, clean the plastic off the cylinder. Then, the customer approved the repair. We just threw used parts on, save them some money on the repair. Ran really good. Carb was off, cleaned up, just some ethanol junk in there. Didn't need anything else. Set of blades, and this thing's going to go back out to run and cut. It's actually in pretty good shape for the age of it. A lot of people knock these Cub Cadets, these older ones, but it's going to work great. Here's those parts we replaced. Well, the air filter, I mean, it was no good. Coil burnt right at the end there. Fan got melted. Air filter housing was burnt on the backside. Also replaced the valve cover gasket, which was probably what caused the problem in the first place, the leaking oil onto the muffler.